just going to bore you a few more minutes. Very sorry, Derek, because I know we're on to the last item, but we couldn't really let the occasion go, and unfortunately I've been volunteered yet again. There's a lot of thank yous to be said, and I hope possibly Derek might just have a word for it, so I don't want to steal any thunder of his. First of all, on behalf of all the band, as a band member, I'd like to thank all of you who've come along tonight for making this a fabulous occasion for us, and all the other people who've helped us over the last few months with letters and words of help and support. Thank you all very much indeed. Getting a little bit more closer to home, some thank yous are due to people who are connected with the band. They don't always get a lot of limelight. In the last few months, there's a lot of work being gone on, let's say, in the background, and our band secretary, Pauline Jackson, fingers have been a veritable blur over the typewriter keys and word processors and all the rest of it. She's been doing all sorts of things for us. So, Pauline, I'd like you to just come up here because we've got a very small token of our gratitude for all the work you've done for us over the last few months. Will probably agree with me. She's probably about the best secretary we've had, but I think with certainty we can say she's the prettiest. Finally, the band would like to thank Derek for his work over the past, few years, and certainly in the last few months. If I can just bore you for a minute too longer with a personal story, it's almost, in fact it is, it's 13 years to the month that I first met Derek. When I came up to Manchester as a very young boy, and it's true, with the idea of having an audition with the band, and so I duly turned up, not really knowing what to expect. I'd only ever played with a school band, and I spoke to Derek on the phone, and he said, "Oh well, bring a couple of the usual solos that you play." Well, I've never played a solo, so I dragged a couple out of the school library, like the Jolly Farmer, and things of that ilk. Anyway, I turned up and Derek put me through these solos, and after I played them, he sort of nodded a little bit, and then we went back and we did them bar by bar, and eventually we got them right, or nearly right, and then after that he said, well, we've got to do some sight reading. So we went through the pad, and there's a lot of things there, again I've not seen before. He then decided that I ought to have another solo, which he threw at me. It happened to be in bass clef, which I didn't read, but as he pointed out, you can pick it up fairly quickly. So, we went through this. The whole ordeal lasted 2.5 hours. And normally auditions these days are fairly short. At the end of which, he took me in the office and he said, well, you're not really up to the standard that we want. By this time, I was a sort of quivering wreck on the floor. However, he did say that seeing as they were taking me on at music college, that they would take a chance, that they would be able to teach me something, and that I might be able to be of service to the band. Well, so that was 13 years ago, so either they taught me something, or, well, I've actually been hiding a lot round the back of it, I think. So that's my personal memory of Derek, as I say, all those years ago, still here, still being as determined and as committed as he ever has been. And Derek, I'd like you to accept a very small token of our appreciation for all the work that you've done for us and for me and from everyone else, I'm sure, who's been connected with you and with this band.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow members of the band, first of all, that's a very great surprise, and I'm not very used to public speaking. I can talk to audiences every now and again, but That's taken me quite by surprise. I'm very grateful to you, and I thank you all very, very much indeed. It's very nice. It's not necessary, but it's still very, very nice. This is a very sad occasion for me and for a lot more people. I dare say nearly all of you in the audience, for one reason or another. It's nice. I'm not going to prolong it because there's no point in prolonging the agony. It's nice to see so many friendly faces. It's nice to see so many people who have been connected with the CWS Manchester Band over the years here tonight. And as from midnight tonight, there will no longer be a CWS Manchester Band. Tomorrow night, we're going down to the band room to hand our instruments and our uniform and our equipment in. But, on the happy side, we would like to tell everybody that we are going to stick together as a unit, as 28 individuals, some with instruments, some without. We've all got a shirt to our back, so we can manage as far as uniforms concerned. But we are going to stick together for the next 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 weeks, maybe, just to see what turns up, and we hope that something will turn up. Yeah. We shall just have to wait and see. Other bands have done it in the past. Who knows? We might just make it, or we might not. But in any case, it's been a marvellous experience. It's been a wonderful night tonight. I'm not going to say any more, but thank you very much indeed.
It's usual to thank all the soloists.